So, key steps is we have to at least gauge their interest. We have to build some rapport. We need to establish what is important to the seller. We get into all this detail in all the training. We need to determine if there's a deal. If there's a deal, what kind of deal is it? Is it a wholesale? Is it a lease option? Is it a sub-2? What is it? Okay. And then we define what we do when we just make offers. Here's where I want you to be. How many said they want to travel more? Raise your hand. How many want to be debt free? Raise your hand. How many want their time back? Raise your hand. How many want to wake up when they're done? How many want to order from the left side of the menu? You can tell I order from the left side of the menu. My last name is Adalai. Okay? I'm a foodie. If you're serious about that, if you are, you're going to get to the point where I want you to start making one offer a day. When you get to the point where you're making one offer a day, you won't be able to keep up spending the money. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And I'll help you do it. Can you make one offer a day to a seller? Absolutely. And if you just pause, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. What's going to change that perception? Massive, imperfect action, because you have a why behind it that's driving you to take action. You understand? I can't stress that enough, friends. I can't stress that enough. These are the kind of deals I look for. This is what I'm going to teach you to find. I like first and second time home buyer neighborhoods. I do not go after the McMansions. I don't go after the highest priced properties on the street. Did you just see those properties I showed you? Is there anything special about them? Yeah, there's money there. But they're just very simple properties. Okay? In fact, most of those I looked up last night, I was just curious. I went on the MLS and I looked to see how much those properties are worth today. They're all worth $50,000 to $60,000 more than when I sold them. That's where our market's at. It's insane. It's insane. It's a messed up market. Be ready with the tools so that you can take advantage of the things that are coming, folks. Be ready. I don't like to go below $750 a month for median for the rent. I usually like to stay there. I don't like to go below $100,000 homes in my zip code, in my county. I also don't like to go above $1,800 a month. And I don't like to go over a property that's worth $300,000. Here's why. People can't afford them. They can't afford them. When the bulk of people fall within a certain price range, that's the price range you have to use and go after. Now, I got students that are doing deals in California. I have one student who did their very first deal in California. It was a cooperative lease option, which means they just wholesaled the option. It was a $650,000 shack in Orange County. And they made $35,000. Not a bad payday. But you have to remember something. I have to do 5 to 7 times more deals to make that in my county than they do in that county. You understand? You with me? So this is what I like. Where does rent cap out? When does things become decent rentals? Okay? And by and large, these are first and second time home buyer neighborhoods. These are the best to work in. And I'll teach you how to find those, and we'll go after them. If it falls within that sweet spot, I call this the sweet spot. Okay? If it falls in the sweet spot, you will have no problem moving it. It'll move quick. By and large, about half the properties that we market, we do not have to market to the population at large because we have a buyer's list that are waiting for deals like that, and we're looking specifically for properties that meet those tenant buyers' needs. So all we do is we put it out to those folks, and usually out of that pool of people, we have some tenant buyers that are interested. Okay? So we almost don't have to market. Market though, we constantly are building a buyer's list. Almost exclusively, about 80% of all tenant buyers come through social media. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. And it's almost all through Facebook. I use Craigslist. Where I'm at, Craigslist just is not really that great. We do use bandit signs, not the kind that Eddie was talking about, but we put them in the front yard. We put directional arrows. We put them at the end of off-ramps in the area or at major intersections saying rent to own, no banks, bad credit, okay, call to qualify. We have a Google number, they call that number, it goes right to voicemail. I don't answer the phone and neither are you because you'll spend your time doing that. Hi, thanks for calling on one of our lease-to-own, rent-to-own homes. I'm sorry no one's available to take your call right now. If you are interested in one of our homes, please visit us at rentownmi.com and you'll learn more about the property and the pre-qualifying process. We look forward to working with you. Thanks, have a great day. I don't talk to them. I don't have time to do that, neither do you. I'm going to be fishing. Whatever you're going to be doing is fine, but the last thing I want you doing is sitting at home, having the phone ring off the hook, and talking to tenant buyers and trying to pre-screen them. It's horrible. It's horrible. Don't do it. I'll teach you how to let that sort itself out. You don't have to worry about it. Fair? Yeah? Can you say yeah? Oh yeah. All right. And again, Facebook almost exclusively is the #1 means by which we market property. So here's the deal. Well, how much time do I have, Eddie? Okay, so 3 more hours. What time do they close? I'm joking, Ivy. Don't throw anything at me. Okay, real quick, can I just add this in? When it comes to that, I can market any property in any geographic location anywhere in the U.S. and I don't have to be there. If I have a property, we did a property in Gaithersburg, Maryland one time. The property is marketed within a 40-mile radius of that home in Gaithersburg. So everybody in that area with Facebook is getting that sponsored ad if their interest is in apartments, homes, real estate, whatever. And that's showing up on their feed. I don't have to be there marketing the home. Like I said earlier, I have a student in Seattle. All his deals are around Nashville, Tennessee, and he doesn't leave his house in Seattle. Sound good? You with me? Okay. So is this really worth your time? We're going to wrap this up here in just a minute. And then I'll take questions, okay? So if you have questions, write them down before you forget. Let's talk about this. What if one deal yielded $5,000 in upfront deposits, $200 a month in your monthly spread, and another $20,000 in the back-end equity, and you made $30,000? Would you do that? Okay. What if you did 4 a year? 1 every 3 months. That's 120 grand. Would that change Christmas? I mean, what if you just did 1 deal every 12 months? What about 1 deal every 6 months? Can you do 1 every 4 months? Can you see yourself doing this? Even 1 deal every 3? What if you did it for 3 to 5 years? Where would you be? Good question. Because as an engineer, I charted it out for you. If you did 2 a year, 3 a year, 4 a year, or 6 a year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, this is the income you're going to make annually. Plus, you're going to have a number down here at the bottom referred to as an unrealized gain, which means the properties you're putting under contract, you have that much equity still coming to you in the future. At any given time, we had, well, at one time, we were doing one a week. And at any given time, we had somewhere around $1.5 million in unrealized equity in still future cash outs that were in our pipeline. Right now, we're probably right around $500,000 because I don't have to go out and do this as often. I'd rather help students. I'd rather do the deals that I want to do. Now, being an engineer, I did it in a 3D bar chart for you so you could kind of sink your teeth into that. Don't look too hard. Well, if you can respond to a seller's ad, how many think they can respond to an ad? Come on. You think you can or think you can't? Can you learn to be relatable? You want to hear my typical conversation with the seller? Okay, thank you for saying that. I call up Oprah, she's got a property. Hi Oprah, how are you? My name's Jim. I saw your property online. Is it still for sale? It looks really nice. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Then she goes in and she tells me a little bit about it. This is all in the script I'm going to give you for free. Oprah, let me ask you a question. How did you come up with your asking price? You're asking 150. Well, I just need to get out. I need to move on. I don't have enough equity, whatever it is. Can I ask you a question? If I paid you all cash and closed whenever you wanted to, what's the least you would take for the property? And maybe she says 140. What if I said to her, Oprah, I buy houses a number of ways. Sometimes I pay all cash, but when I pay cash, I've got to get them at deep discounts because I'm buying foreclosures, short sales, properties that need rehabbing. Obviously, your house doesn't look like that online. It doesn't need any really fixing up, does it? What if I could get you full asking price for your property with no commissions, and I get paid by a third party? Would you be interested in learning more about that? And what if you could make more than 150 on that property if you just waited a little bit of time for your equity, say 12 months to 18 months? Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to send you some information. I'll follow up with you tomorrow, and we'll see if we can take it any further. That's my conversation with sellers. That's it. I send Oprah an email. That email details the benefits of a cooperative lease option. I'll call her tomorrow. We'll set a time. She'll maybe tell me afternoon's best. Give her a call, Oprah. Did you get a chance to look that over? Oh, by the way, everything we do is not exclusive, Oprah. I get paid by a third party, but there's no obligation. If you sell the house next week, I go away. How many sellers would like to hear that? How about when this market shifts, ready? How many sellers will like to hear that? That's what we do. You with me? Learn to be relatable. Have it shown or show it. Screen some tenant buyers or have them screen themselves. Can you cash a check? No? You can do this. You can do this. Eddie was kind enough to let me share what our program is. We understand there are three primary ways in which people learn. How many can hear something and put it into action? Just a handful of us, very few. So some would learn best by learning. How about visual? How many have to see it? Okay. Most people are visual learners, right? So they see it in action. And some need accountability. Some need somebody to go, hey, you're not on track where you need to be. Maybe get a little kick in the keister, right? And they need somebody to be accountable to, like a mentor or a coach. And they learn best by being given assignments and just doing it. So what we've put together is everything that I teach is not just, everything is in audio format. There's hours and hours of me talking to sellers and closing deals. There's hours of me walking through properties and closing deals with sellers. Okay? You can listen to me screen tenant buyers. Everything is on audio. Everything that you need. And then everything is video. All the forms, all the teaching, all the contracts, everything is actually in video from our live boot camps that you can watch anytime you want, as often as you want. I do live calls with sellers. So when you come to a training of mine, I'm going to have you do a little bit of homework. You're going to bring some leads that you're going to find on Craigslist and Zillow, and I'm going to call them in class for you, and I'm going to help you walk out with those deals. So when you leave, you've got deals that are ready to be closed. Does that sound good? Yeah? How many like that? Okay? So that's a real key. And we've got a one-day in October, and then right now we're planning, I believe, the first weekend of October, 3 days of boot camp. And we go through this in very, very extensive detail. The entire training's on video. Everything that you need, you can watch. Even every contract. So I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't have any help when I started, but the other big thing is I was so afraid of what contracts to use. So every contract that you get, I actually have a video on where to use it and how to fill it out. Every one of them. And I'll walk you through that process. I have a home study course. This basically gives you everything you need. All the forms, all the contracts, the study guides, the workbooks detailing every aspect of doing deals, everything you need to know. If you are a home learner, this is for you. This is what I used to give out. I used to give out putting cooperative lease options to work and mastering sandwich lease options. I don't use that anymore. And I'll show you why. You'll also get Wendy's. How many know of Wendy Patton? Okay. Wendy has been my mentor for like 15 years. And I actually teach for Wendy now because she doesn't do it anymore. So you'll also get her course on working with realtors to do cooperative and lease option deals. I now have everything on key drives, so you'll actually, instead of big books and a bunch of audios and DVDs, you'll get a set of key drives to the kingdom. I'll give you the keys to the kingdom, plus online access. When we update everything, you'll have access to that too. All three of those courses value about $2,000. I offer them for $997. Everything you need. Everything. Now, if you're wondering, yeah, but I really need help, Jim. I mean, I need help. Okay. I'll coach you. I'll help you. I'll get you doing deals very quickly. When you do the coaching and the training with me, you're going to have everything you need, but you're going to have one big difference. You're going to have me in your back pocket. My student today that I worked with on a deal, we're going to close that deal for them, and I'm going to help them do it. And I don't get paid a dime for helping them on that. That's fine with me. I want to see them make their $57,000, and that's going to change their life. And how many other lives is that going to change? You understand that? I want to pay it forward. That's why I do what I do. This is Al Garcia. Al Garcia lives in Orlando, Florida. He's a pretty big shot real estate agent. I don't want you reading all this, but I'm going to read a couple of quick sections. He said, I was told by a couple of title company know-it-alls that this deal isn't going to close. Even my attorney was skeptical. I gave you the details. You calmly congratulated me as if there was nothing to be concerned about. You suggested offering an incentive to the seller to do one closing to get paid a single line item with some sort of debt instrument. And being the reason for the line item of $54,000, I did exactly that. I cleared $39,000 on a line item to the corporation I owned that signed for the lease option. I appreciate the wisdom you bring, the patience. There's a lot of gurus selling information on these things, but you're accessible, knowledgeable, and most importantly, hands-on. You know exactly what you're talking about because you're absolutely doing this yourself. Al Garcia made $39,000 on his first sandwich lease option, and he did it in less than 3 months. And even his title companies and his attorney said, you can't do this deal. And I said, yeah, you can. Let me show you how to do it. You know why? Because what we do is out of the norm. People don't think outside the box. I'm going to show you how to think outside the box. When you do get the training and the course, you get to come for 2 people, hands-on, all the lease option deals for life. As often as you want to come, anytime we have it. That's included for free, for 2 people. My commitment to you. Are you wanting to eliminate the fluff and the hype with no content and excessive costs in training? Yes or yes? I want to be in every aspect for my students to provide a level of excellence in personal, practical, and pragmatic hands-on training so that you can be successful. And you'll have me in your back pocket. Someone's going to be there for you at all times. I'm going to have your back. That's what I offer. Now, normally with the course and my coaching, two tickets for life, you're looking at about almost a $20,000 investment. When I talk to you about making 6 figures part-time, are you willing to make time for your future? Are you? I can't hear you. Are you? Are you willing to do what others aren't going to do so you can have in the future what others can't have? Yes? Are you willing to get out of your comfort zone? How many people here believe they're in a rut? You feel like you're in a rut? You know what a rut is? It's a coffin with the ends kicked out. Get out of there. I have one student, he was in South Bend, Indiana. He's never been in real estate nor sales. He's 35 years old. I helped him do one deal. He went out and did 5 more over the next 5 months. He retired. He became unemployable. I don't like to use the term retired. He became unemployable at 37 years old. And you know what he did? He cut the plug off his TV. He unplugged it first, thankfully, because that was dragging him down. I don't know where you're spending your spare time. I don't know. But if you got 5 to 10 hours a week to make a 6-figure income, we need to talk. Are you serious about that? You want to make some changes in your life, you got to make some changes, folks. You got to plug in and learn. You have to. And if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, I'll help you. Everything included is $29.97. Don't go to my website. It's over $5,000. I only offer this at a discount if I speak in person. And by the way, there's nothing to sell you tonight. I have nothing to sell you. Can't walk out of here with this. I have no way for you to pay me. That's not why I'm here. But what if I said for a year, after I help you walk through your first deal, we'll split it 50-50, and out of my half, I'll give you your $29.97 back. Would you do that? I can't hear you. Would you do that? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it for life. I don't care when you're ready, getting ready to starting. I have students right now that bought my course 6 years ago who are now ready, and I'm helping them, and they don't pay me a dime to do it because they invested 6 years ago. I'll do it for life. Is that fair? And by the way, Eddie, you know this. Wendy busts my chops over this. She said, "You can't do that, Jim." I said, "Yes, I can." She goes, "You can't do that because there's nothing in it for you." No, there's something in it for me by seeing you succeed. And that is what motivates me. So, are you ready? Say, "Oh yeah." You can contact me, grab a card before you leave. I'm going to answer some questions, but I'm going to leave you with this. Are you ready to take control of your financial future? You can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't make both, and I'll help you do it. Eddie, thank you. Thank you for those that are online watching. Thank you for your attention. I hope this was beneficial for you. Thank you. And real quick, Eddie and I have been trying to get this planned for 2 years. So it took 2 years for us to get this worked out for our schedule. So I don't go out and speak a lot. This is not very often I do this. But I appreciate, Eddie, thank you for having me. Folks, thank you for your attention. Any questions that you have for me? If I use my IRA, when I do a deal, does the money I make from it have to go back in your IRA? Yes, it does. Now, with a Roth IRA, you need a self-directed Roth. Because any Roth, you can't just do whatever you want with. I have a self-directed Roth. We have companies that we use. These are FDIC-backed companies. And a Roth IRA, you have to be 59 and a half before you can take anything out and have the IRA for 5 years. I just turned 60. I now can take any amount and any frequency out of my IRA tax-free for life. So right now, if I'm going to do a deal, think of it this way. Here's a good way to think about it. What's your name, ma'am? Dina? Okay. If If I have the ability to do a deal and cash flow, let's say $40,000, if I do it outside my IRA, do I pay taxes? Yes or yes? If I do it in my Roth, do I pay taxes? No. If I do that deal in my Roth, whatever I make on that deal, I can take out the next month tax-free. That's why you need to set up a Roth today, before they change the rules. Even if you have $1,000, start a Roth, a self-directed Roth. You got to, I mean, there's ways to do that. I'm not going to educate you on that. I can tell you companies that do that. I've got really good friends that can teach you how to do that. I'm telling you, it's powerful, folks. Let me say it another way, and then I'll take your next question. If you were a farmer, would you rather pay tax on the seed or the harvest? The seed. That's what a Roth IRA is. Because a Roth IRA is post-tax money. You've already paid taxes on it. Whatever comes out is non-taxed. And the government knows it, and they don't like it, and they want to get rid of it. So if you have one, it'll probably be grandfathered in. Start one as soon as possible. Yeah. A cap on? Oh, so is there a cap on how much you can put into the IRA? Yeah, it depends on your age, but it ranges between $6,000 and $7,000 annually. But what if I picked up a property and the seller said, I need $5,000 down, and my Roth IRA put the $5,000 down, and all the proceeds went into my Roth IRA, and I made $30,000 on that deal? That $30,000 is tax-free for life. Make sense? Now, what I teach is, if you need the cash now, do deals outside your IRA and do some in your IRA when you don't need the cash. Because you have to cover both bases. Make sense? So the question is, what's the difference between a self-directed IRA and a trust fund? A trust fund is not a vehicle or an investment tool that you can leverage. The self-directed IRA is. And by the way, if you want to write this website down, they have educational videos for free. And it's the company that I use. They're out of Elyria, Ohio. And it's Equity Trust Company. And it's trustetc.com. Trustetc.com. That's who I use. Eddie, you're familiar with them?
Oh, yeah.
There's others. Quest IRA is very good. There's a few others as well. You can choose who you want to work with. But it has to be a self-directed IRA. See, what most people don't realize is when they set up an IRA now, or they have a 401k plan, for example, they say, oh yeah, we're self-directed. You can buy any of these stocks that are in our portfolio. Yes, but I can't do real estate deals. I can't buy gold. I can't do Bitcoin in it, crypto if I want to. I can't do loans to farmers for agricultural equipment. I can do all that in my self-directed Roth and more. So go to trustetc.com and learn about how those things can work for you. Great questions. What's your name, sir? Aubrey? Thanks, Aubrey. Good stuff. Who else has questions? Yes, ma'am. Oh, the second company I mentioned was Quest, Q-U-E-S-T. And I think it's questira.com, but I'd have to double check. If you like Google Quest IRA, you'll have that. Anything else? So the question is, if the market is going bad, going south, and the sellers can't sell, are we saying we can make money by renting them? Well, kind of yes and no. Let me ask you a question, or anybody. How many people today cannot get financed? What's the percentage of people that can't get a mortgage today? Do you know? You're a real estate agent, right? Anyone want to take a guess? How many people cannot get financed for a house today? 30%. Yeah, I hear another number. 50, 75, anybody else? Okay, it's right around 65%. 6.5 or 65 out of 100 people cannot get a mortgage, and it's creeping up. So when I talk about finding properties that are affordable, first and second time homebuyer neighborhoods, and the neighborhoods I'm going to teach you and help you do, those properties are very, very hot to tenant buyers. They can't get a mortgage today, but we help them get financed in 12 to 18 months. We have mortgage companies we work with, we put them in contact with them, and we help them build their credit and get financed. Okay? Make sense? There are some properties that I have purchased on terms, right, option agreement, that I just wanted to rent. And I've done those too. But I don't like necessarily just being a landlord.
We're working with that 65% that's having a hard time getting.
Yeah. So we're working with massive people, the majority of people who cannot get a mortgage today. Let me say, this might shock some of you too. What's the number one profession that people are in that they have bad credit? Doctors. The second one is lawyers. The reason why it's doctors is because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses. They're buying things they don't need to impress people they don't like with money they don't have. And so, but by and large, most people are only one or two fixes away from getting financed. And when we screen our tenant buyers, that's who we're looking for. If I have a tenant buyer that Verizon is chasing for $150, they will never get into any of my properties. Make sense? So we run a full credit, full background. We know exactly who we're dealing with. Great question. Yes, ma'am. How long are our terms? So how long are our terms when we do a lease option? With our seller, it's as long as possible. I like 3 to 5 years. I've done 7 and 10. With our tenant buyers, it's usually no longer than 18 months. I will rarely go to 24 months, only if they will enroll in our credit repair program. Or I will make it extendable at my discretion if they're not behind on payments, if they're trying, and if they're enrolled. Most of our properties I want to see cashed out between 16 and 18 months. And the sad reality is, folks, only about 70% do. When you vet them really well, only 7 out of 10 people get financed because there's always something that happens. Life happens. They get laid off, they've got to move, there's deaths, there's divorces, there's marriages, there's kids. Life happens. So I can't get 100% of them financed, but I'm going to do everything I can. And any of my tenant buyers move into my properties, they know there's only one way they'll lose this property is if they don't perform. I will never kick them out for not paying or not performing. I'll extend it and we'll rewrite the contract. I've got a tenant buyer coming up right now next month. His son passed away unexpectedly in December, like the first week of December. They've been in my house. They moved from Florida, lock, stock, and barrel. Moved up to where I'm at in the county. And I did not know his son had passed away. And I called him when I found out, extended my condolences, told him if there's anything I can do. He says, well, we set up a GoFundMe page to cover my son's funeral, because we don't have the money. And I said, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I want you to not pay me for January. I just don't pay me. Put that towards your son's funeral. Now he's picking up the pieces, and come next month, because he's probably not ready to get financed, I'm going to sit down with him and his wife, see if they want to continue. I'll continue with them. We'll just redraft the agreement. They've never missed a payment, and help them out. Because that's what we do. Now, if I've got somebody who's a deadbeat and I'm chasing them for payment, I'll never extend it. If anything, I'll evict them, just like a renter. That's the beauty of options. I can kick them out just like a renter. Make sense? Anything else? Eddie, yeah.
All right, Jim, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. You mentioned that you work about 5 to 10 hours a week. So if you're calling FISBOs or whoever you're calling, roughly how many calls would you say you're making in like your average week?
So on average right now, probably 5 to 10. And I'm at the point where I can sort them very quickly. I can see where there's likely deals just because how it's advertised and experienced. But the rest of that time, I'm helping my students get deals.
All right. Robin Thompson, who you probably know, I've heard her say that approximately 80% of the people that go to her boot camps, for whatever reason, don't take action. There's another real estate expert in South Carolina, I heard him say that his number is like 90%. And obviously that's all something mental. After they paid $2,000 to go to a boot camp, they're not taking the action. What mental changes or changes in their thinking does a person need to go after it, start doing that first deal and become successful?
So the first thing that most people have got to recognize is if they are not up to speed on how to do deals, plug in, learn. I do live coaching calls every month. You have access to me. If you need me, pick up the phone and call me. I don't farm you out to some lieutenant. When you call, you get me. You get my phone number. And I'm going to help walk you through deals. I'm going to put together for you a game plan of what to follow, how to get up and running as quickly as possible. When you get to the point where you're talking to sellers, and I'm going to help you then close those deals, even if it's over the phone, we're going to close those deals, and I'm going to help you move that ball across the goal line. Now, what Robin and other gurus say is not out of the ordinary. It saddens me that you can come to a meeting like this, come to a one-day seminar, even just get the home study course and never do anything. I didn't do anything for 4 years, folks. And my only regret is not starting sooner. Because I didn't know any more in 4 years than I knew at the end of 6 months that couldn't get me started. But the difference is you have someone like me to help you along the way. And I'll help you do it.
Higher right now than they were last year. This is a more timely time to get involved with the lease options?
So with interest rates higher, it actually doesn't really matter. Interest rates aren't going to affect what you do in the market that you're going after. My experience says I can do this in any market at any time. You have to remember when I started when we were on the downturn in 06. My very first deal was at the end of 05. I think my wife and I went to our first boot camp in 02 or 03, roughly. So I didn't do anything. And then I took action, I got started, and I began doing deals. And the whole time I began, for 5 years, the market was doing this the whole time. We bought more houses than I can count. We picked up more deals than I can count. And that's where we're at. I believe that's where we're at right now. So for those who are going to be serious and starting, I can tell you there's no better time. The interest rate means nothing. It's the deal and how you construct the deal that will make the difference.
All right. Now I don't want to put you on the spot here. So if the answer to this question is no, just say no. I'm just gonna ask this because, given statistics what they are, there's probably somebody here thinking this. All right. If somebody wants the whole shebang, that $29.97, is there any sort of payment plan, like paying half now and then something like that?
Yeah, I'll work that out with you. There are some who will actually partner with others, and they'll split it 50-50, and I'll have you join me for that. There's one thing I failed to mention. If you're a veteran, or you're a first responder, or you're a retired veteran and you've got your DD 214, I'm going to take $500 off for you. And I want to help you. Okay? So, yes, and we can work that out. You can call me, we can talk about that. I'll do whatever I can to help you starting. Is that fair? Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate Jim. He came from quite a ways away to share all this knowledge with us, so please give us a big hand. All right, we always have these meetings third Tuesday of every month, always at 7 p.m., always free. For the last year or so, they've always been right here. We used to have them at another location in Coney Island that caught on fire, but for the last year or so, we've been right here. One thing that we do here is that we allow people to come up and make announcements. It's not just going to the people here. We get about 1,000 views on YouTube, so if anyone has any business announcement they would like to make, please feel free to come on up.
Everybody, I'm Sharonda, and I am looking for properties, multifamily, 2 to 10 units in Detroit. And my phone number is 313-451-4231. Yep. Looking for 2 to 10 units. My name is Sharonda Taunt. And my phone number is 313-451-4231. And I'm gonna give you the other number too, 586-209-0341. 586-209-0341.
Hi, my name is Rena. I'm a mortgage broker. We have everything from hard money to conventional, your normal conventional FHA, do fix and flips, 90, 100, so you put 90% down on the purchase and then you get 100% of the rehab. And we have an investment HELOC as well. Hi, my phone number is 248-422-2252, or you can find me on Instagram, Facebook. It's just Mortgage Star.
I am Yolanda Haynes. I serve as president of the Friends of the Southfield Public Library, for any of you that live in Southfield or do not. We are a 501c3 organization where we help the library succeed. We sponsor programs at the library. We raise money through our membership, through our book sales, and through other events that we have. And we have an upcoming event this Wednesday, Jazz and Blues at the library. It's a monthly feature every third Wednesday of the month at the library. And if you are a member of the Friends, it's $5. If you're not a member, it's $7. If you want to become a member, you can. You receive discounts for becoming a member. And also we have a monthly book sale, which is usually the first weekend every month, depending on the holiday. We have excellent books in excellent condition for a reasonable price. All this proceeds help to sponsor programs here at the Southfield Public Library. If you haven't been by there, it's a good time to come by. If you're interested in the Jazz and Blues series, come see me. If you're interested in joining the Friends, come see me. And also come see me on a wealth of other things that I'm involved in as well that I don't want to take up everybody's time. So thank you so much, and enjoy yourself tonight.
Shalisa Harvey, 248-730-2421. And I'm a realtor. 248-730-2421. Thank you.
Hello, how's everybody doing today? Good, good. Thank you, sir, for coming to speak. I want to say your name wrong, but the leasing coach. My name is W.A. Boykin II, and I just want to speak up and say thank you again. Last week we spoke, doctor, regarding assisted living. So if there's anybody interested in assisted living or the processes of it, I have a book on it. As my card's in the book, you can give me a call. My number is 313-288-0675. That's 313-288-0675. And we're also buying existing centers, care facilities that are open. Thank you.
I'm a licensed life insurance broker. I own an agency. So if there's oftentimes when people are thinking about life insurance, it's like the thing that we like to talk about, we like to think about. And usually it's hard finding someone that you know, someone that you can trust. You don't know me yet, but you will get to know one another, and you can trust me as well. If there's any needs or any interest, call me 586-484-2917. There's a lot of things that you can do with life insurance. Other than just the traditional death benefit, we can actually use it to build cash and to be able to access that cash tax-free for real estate investments and things of the like. 586-484-2917.
My name is Aubrey Crosby. I'm focused on North Carolina region right now. I'm living here, but I have access to property in North Carolina right now. And we're looking at 24 acres, doing 100 homes, And we are also bringing in what we can do is where we can build your home from scratch. There's a high demand of needs for home buyers and for builders right now. So I'm looking at bringing a team down to North Carolina to build houses. So if anybody interested in investing in North Carolina, we're looking at rural area conversion to new homes. We're doing some infill. We're doing like 1,500, 2,000 square foot homes. So if you're willing to change and shift into a new area, into a better cost of living, better price points, my number is 248-636-8955. 248-636-8955. The demand in North Carolina is so high for home buyers right now that they're moving into multi-family homes because they can't build houses fast enough. And so I'm licensed here in Michigan. I have my development team already in North Carolina. We just waiting on investors to build on the land. We're looking at 100 acres coming up soon in another city called Walkertown. I'm looking at Walkertown and also Winston-Salem. And also just outside, it's about 5 minutes outside of Kernersville. So this is the northern triad community. You got the popular spots is Greensboro, you hour from Raleigh, you're an hour from Charlotte in the middle. And Salisbury is a military town for the veterans. You also have a veteran community center in Kernersville. So if you're interested, email me at aecgoinggreen@gmail. aecgoinggreen@gmail. My name is Aubrey. My number is 248-636-8955. And the goal is North Carolina, part of South Carolina. And it's a fruitful market. Just for reference, Pulte is already down there. They saw the deal. And Pulte's buying land from farmers right now to get houses up fast as they can. And they buy multifamily. But Pulte left Michigan, and then North Carolina and Pulte Home Builders, custom home builders. Pulte doing multifamily at a place called Fuquay Marina. They're building multifamilies down there, and they also in Kernersville currently building homes right now. Thank you.
So what's the investment?
Okay, the investment is, depending on what the package is, we got different packages. And we're trying to close on the land, so the deal is, the packages will get the land and also a percentage of the profit of the homes. Let's say an example, the 100 acres you'll get, through the total package, there's gonna be about $23 to $25 million due on 100 homes. The land is only costing about $500,000 by the land. But you can build 100 some homes, or 200 some homes, and the total gross profit is $23 million. That's the kind of market we're working with right now because there's a need for them. And if you waste your time, say if you didn't do no homework, you're still bringing home $50,000 a house after you sell. If you just being lazy, real conservative.
Any other announcements? Okay, just one last thing here, as I said before. Our meetings are always the third Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. And I want to thank everyone for coming out. Thank you.